Good afternoon, everybody. All right, so a little bit of an update on the GTO project here. Went and picked up the block today. So we've got her all wrapped in plastic at the moment. I got her in the van and then got her on a, it's actually my creeper. Put a board and some cardboard on there. She makes a nice little scooter. Anyway, I got them on there. I'll get the brackets on there for the engine stand. Get him mounted up on there. And then we can start taking a look at what we need to do for reassembly. I have to make a parts list of stuff I still need to order. Obviously, I bought the entire stroker kit. But I'm going to need seals. I haven't bought a cam or springs or rockers yet. I do have the valves. I have the heads out to be rebuilt. They're going to have new valves put in them, ground and lapped and everything else. I decided to go ahead and spend the money on that. There was a speed shop guy here that was highly recommended in the Twin Cities area. So I brought them down to him, and he's working on those. He should have those ready for me here in the next couple of weeks. So anyway, that's just a real quick update on the block. I'll work on cleaning up a little bit around here. I've got a bit of a mess, so maybe I'll show you a time lapse of the process. Got a problem in my garage as well. Nothing that I can really fix, but if you see that water there, that's from the van on the other side of my blue tarp. The water, they did a very poor job pouring this concrete floor back in '79, so it is what it is. I don't know if the floor sunk or if they just didn't even put a grate in it or what, but the water all kind of seems to seep over here, and I squeegeed a lot of it out earlier, and it's still there. So anyway, I'm going to get to work on cleaning some of this up. Some stuff's got to get recycled. Some's going to get reused. Got the transmission sitting here. He was on the cart. But since I had to set him down on the floor, since I had to get the engine on something solid and get it moved. So yeah, it's looking great. I got the parts. Let me see here. Oh yeah, they're right here on the freezer. I sent one of the pistons with the piston the wall clearance written on there, along with the spec sheet, so they knew exactly what to do it to. These are my original caps. Look how clean those things came out. Wow, they're a little dirty from them clamping them down because they align honed the bores, the bearing. They align honed those things so that everything was all set. I gave them the full set of the ARP studs and everything, so that way they had all the information. They got the information card here on how to do it. So that should all work really well with all the rest of my balanced assembly. Get that back in here with one hand. Washer in my way. All right. But yeah, that's looking super clean. The block looks really good. I'll have to take the plastic off and inspect it. I've got the heater running like crazy right now, trying to get the temperature up out here, so I kind of keep that in somewhat of a warm and dry environment. I'm working on the dry part, but this floor isn't cooperating right at the moment. We've been keep getting snow, so he keeps bringing slush in on the vehicle. Anyway, let me get around to working on cleaning up some of my mess. Yeah, it's a mess. So, like I say, I'll probably do a time lapse here, and you can watch me. And I don't know. We'll see how many days it takes me. But I I've got a 4-day weekend. I'll try to get a bunch done this weekend. At least get stuff cleaned up and organized, so when I do start putting it together, that it's a more organized process. It actually bothers me that it is this disorganized at the moment. I like things to be organized, but sometimes that's when you're working on a project. That's just how it ends up. All right, so let's get this cleaned up. We'll keep my bolts for my hold downs. 4, 7, 8. Put them in a bag real quick. Going with all new valves. I'll have to clean these up anyway. So that's ready to go. All right, so I got the table all cleaned off. Ready for our next project. I'll probably work on the heads and stuff on here again in a little bit. I've got intake manifold. Let me grab that. Got an intake manifold that I'm going to be buying a different, a newer style. I don't know why someone ground off part of the firing order. I've tried to sell it a couple times now, but since that's been ground off, nobody really wants it. And if you're doing a restoration, you want something that's in good condition. So I don't know why people do that to stuff. You know, they ruin it for other people. Here's my original exhaust manifolds. I've got a pair showing up tomorrow, and I'm not sure if I'll show them in this video. I probably will. But I have a pair of reproduction ram air 3s. So that should be pretty cool. All right, so anybody that's been watching for a while, I've been collecting all the parts that I took off. Everything's in bags, organized. For the most part, they're labeled. If it's something that's really obvious, I didn't label it. But I've been collecting all the parts that I took off the engine. They're all in a box here. I have the alternator and brackets. Some of the other stuff is in different places, but you know, any of the small parts are all in bags and labeled. So it should make reassembly a little bit easier. I am going to replace a lot of the fasteners just so things are, you know, freshened up, not rusty and looking nasty on my, you know, fresh new engine. But I'll reuse the stuff that I need to, and I'll have it available because I have it all right here and organized. All right, so now I'm at a point where I need to get this block off the floor so I can do some more cleaning. So let's get him up on the engine stand. I got the Duplicolor engine enamel, number, what was it, 1616? DE 1616 Pontiac Blue Metallic. Alright, so I got the paint on here. It's mostly dry. It was dry enough on the surface. There's a couple of spots. It's a little wet where I got it a little thick. Boy, you got to be really careful with this, especially if it's cold out. But it looked like it adhered really nice. Got a really nice finish to it. I'll be a little more careful on the rest of the block. This part will never be seen. Anyway, I'm just getting my engine mount on there and then standing it up. It was a lot easier to paint it standing up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this bolted on there, and then I can get it up on the engine stand. Paid a little bit closer attention this time to the center of mass. So I should be, it should be balanced this time. I can actually rotate it on the engine stand. Didn't work so great last time. Gonna have to put a strap on here and lift it up and get it up on the engine stand, which is actually the camera is sitting right on top of, so straddling. I'll gotta brainstorm here a little bit. I think I actually am gonna use straps That worked pretty good last time for getting it in on the trailer when I brought it to the machine shop. This last time I had someone help me. We just picked it up out of there. But going to the machine shop, I brought it to run a trailer because it was so darn greasy and dirty. Weight off. There we go. Got her. All right. Get that up from under the lift. Now, you guys got to see this lift when I put it together and watch that video. I actually never showed a video of me collapsing the actual lift down. So here, I can show you real quick. It's pretty nice. This is a Harbor Freight deal. You put the boom down. And I had like zero problems with this thing at all. Let the boom down all the way. Then to stow it, pull the leg pins, the front leg pin, lift it up, put this one in here just to make sure that, number one, you want to lose the pin, but that way it can't fall. Same thing with the other one. Pull the pin, lift it up, it's stowed away. I just noticed my bolt up here, either I didn't tighten it or it came loose. Oh my gosh. I might have to go back and watch my video on my assembly. It's a good chance I forgot to tighten this. Oh, put the pin back in the wrong hole. Oh, wow. That's bad. I lifted the engine out with it like that. 1 inch. Not the farmer's range can't fix. Wow. I was sure I tightened that up. Maybe I need to put some Loctite on that. That was super loose. Oh, wow. Bad, bad, bad. I've been a lucky boy, what can I say? Anyway, now I can roll it back in the corner. This is a really nice lift. Now I can just stow it away. All the cleanup you saw me do, I didn't get everything clean. Didn't get the floor, but we're getting there. But here's my baby. So, wow. It's amazing what the wheels can pick up. You didn't even know were there. All right, so here she is. I'm gonna get her all taped off, and you see when they melt this, they trued her up. I told them just minimum, guys, bare minimum. To put my dowels back in, they machined that down absolute minimum. They even left the pitting on there, which is fine. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. Boy, that's nice. It's nice. I'll have to give this. I'm sure they gave it left a coat of oil on there when they did it. These are clean gloves, by the way. I just grabbed them on the bag a little bit ago, so they don't have anything too bad on them. I'll give this a coat of oil when I'm done with this, but I don't know how long it's going to take me to assemble this engine. All right, so let's get the areas taped off that I don't want to have paint on. So basically this whole top surface. Obviously you don't paint the lifter valley unless you're going high performance and you are trying to smooth this up so the oil goes down. Not something I'm planning on doing. So I will tape all this off, this whole top area. On the front timing cover, I can kind of see the marks on the front. Let me spin this around a little bit for you. You can see the marks on the front, kind of where the cover was. I have it, so I may put that on here just to see where the cover was, because that obviously doesn't need paint either. So I'll have to mark that off, because I don't want to have paint in there, because that same thing that could end up getting loose and getting into the engine. Boy, they did a really good job on this. This had so much stuff built up in here. I'm very impressed with how well they got it clean. I got some dirt on it just from handling it today, but wow. So I don't have an air compressor. I'll have to get some, maybe I'll buy a tank so I can at least pump it up. I have a tiny air compressor for tires, which would work fine. Pump up the compressor, then I can have some compressed air to blow out all the holes in the galleries. You want to have that stuff clean before you go to assemble. But yeah, let's start taping. So I haven't looked at the other side of the engine yet. Let me grab my bar. Yeah, we're about to find out how well I have this thing balanced. Because last time, I don't know if you were watching, I couldn't rotate this at all. It was so far off center. I couldn't rotate it at all, and actually I forgot to put grease on that thing again. Anyhow, I'll have to tape off the whole bottom side here where the pan goes as well. Same thing, I don't need any paint down here. I'm going to just tape this off super well, then get her cleaned. Probably clean ahead of time, huh? Clean first so the tape sticks. Probably a good idea. So I got to make sure any surfaces that you need to have stuff with gaskets and whatnot, or have oil and exposed to the inside of the engine, you don't want paint on there, because then that'll just come loose and be floating around in your oil. So paint doesn't make a very good lubricant. So anyway, let me start wiping this down, and then we'll go from there. Bought some microfiber towels. Well, let's tape off the rest of it. That's going to be enough work as it is. I bought some plastic. Kind of running low on newspaper. And I thought I'd give some plastic a try this time. Well, I'm going to have to clean this again. This will be good enough for taping. Okay. That is it. Got the oil filter boss taped off. Top and bottom are taped off. Timing chain cover area taped off. Not worried about the holes. I need the holes on the outside. I can always just chase those. The paint's gonna go on here pretty light anyway. So should we try our hand at spraying a little? And I am going to go light with this because I want this to turn out pretty nice. And my experience earlier was not so good. Since you are not, basically I can't do a primer because primer would have to be basically the same tape, the same type of paint. So I'm going to go almost like what the automotive guys call a guide coat I want to still be able to see the metal underneath. That's it. Flip it over, do the same thing. Yeah, actually, no, I won't. Yeah, that's light enough. Shouldn't be any chance of any runs or anything like that. I forgot to grease this thing when I put it on here. Silly me. Not a lot to do back here. This is the back of the engine on this vehicle where the distributor goes down in there. Oh yeah, and this is just the front of the engine again, which I already painted. Again, it's some spots here maybe that didn't quite get from the top. I do not want this to run. Alright, I'm about to give it the third and final coat for tonight. Anyway, that's where we're at for today. Please like and subscribe. Follow along. Obviously, I have a complete engine rebuild here. Got to get it back in the car. I've got some work to do over there. I want to get rid of those drum brakes. Bunch of other upgrades. So there'll be lots more work to do in this car this winter. And hopefully we can get her back on the road by spring. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.